Hello, in this lesson, you will learn the topic Building an e-commerce presence and system development process. This topic covers the most important factors that a manager needs to consider when building an e-commerce presence. The focus will be on the managerial and business decision you must make before you begin and that will continually need to take. After studying this lesson, you will be able to understand the steps you should take in developing an e-commerce presence and explain the process that should be followed in building an e-commerce presence, and then identify and understand the major considerations involved in IT project management, including choosing the web server and e-commerce merchant server software. On the building a sophisticated e-commerce presence isn't easy. Today, tools are much less expensive and more powerful than they were during the early days of e-commerce. At the same time, due to the popularity of mobile devices and social networks, firms need to build a presence on three platforms: the web, mobile, and social networks. In this topic, we focus on both small and medium sized businesses as well as much larger corporate entities that serve thousands of customers a day or even an hours. As you will see, although the scale may be very different, the principles and considerations are basically the same. Before you begin to build a web or application of your own, there are some important questions you need to think about and answer. The answers to these questions will drive the development and implementation of your e-commerce presence. So, the first question is, what's the idea? That means you need to have a vision of what you hope to accomplish and how you hope to accomplish it. The vision includes not just a statement of missions, but also identification of the target audience, characterization of market space, a strategic analysis, a marketing metric, and development timeline. It starts with a dream of what's possible and concludes with a timeline and preliminary budgets for development. If you examine any successful website, you can usually tell from the homepage what the vision that inspired the site is. For example, for Amazon, is to become the largest marketplace on earth. In this homepage, Amazon announced that they ship over 45 million products around the world. Another example for Facebook is to make the world more open and connected. And for Google is to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. The e-commerce presence you want to build may not have such all-encompassing ambitions, but a succinct statement of mission, purpose, and direction is the key factor in driving the development of your project. And when you already finish the first question of what's the idea and your mission vision of your project, let's think of the e-commerce present and answer the question of where's the money where it come from, how you can earn your money from your project, and to persuade your investor. So you must show your business model. For example, you think of the B2B, B2C, or C2C, or the other business model, as we already discussed in the previous chapter regarding to e-business model and strategy. And next, you must answer your revenue models, how you can earn your money and where's the money come from. For example, you will take consideration of your different method or way to get the money. The main things may be the sales revenue models, the affiliate revenue model, or advertising revenue model. For example, most of the B2C business to consumer or to yes to consumer or to end user customer, the sales revenue model should be uh, the most important or the key revenue model. But in B2C business model, you may combine the sales revenue model and advertising revenue model. So that's the point. You need to figure out what is your key revenue model that will contribute to your business the most. And the next question relating to your customer. Who and where is the target audience? So, to analyze your target audience or potential customers, you may choose the demographics, lifestyle, consumption patterns to analyze your target audience. And what is the ballpark characterize the marketplace? You should find out the size, growth, demographics, and structure of the marketplace. And let's imagine your e-commerce presence. Think of where's the content coming from and know yourself. SWOT analysis. Strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. The SWOT analysis is considered as one of the most powerful tools to analyze yourself. Regarding to develop an e-commerce presence map, develop a timeline, milestones, and answer the question, how much will this cost? Will help you to imagine your e-commerce presence and how to make it real, how to build as well as to run, implement, operation your e-commerce presence. These are examples of the cost of running the website, the simple website. The cost may up to $5,000. For small startup, you should consider 25,000 to 50,000 US dollar. For large corporate website, the cost may cost more than 100,000 to millions. It will based on the it will be based on the different modules, the different feature function that you combined in your corporate website. And here, the example for you is also the guideline for you to analyze yourself by using SWOT analysis. Please remember, in this case, you focus on analyze your e-business and focus on the use of internet and web in your business. It's different when you use the SWOT analysis for your traditional commerce. Here we should focus on the internet and web. So the strengths may be different that focus on the current size, do not address the market's needs, that focus on the niche market maybe, and focus on the unique approach of your business. And the 8 unique feature of e-commerce technology can be used at this time. Please get back to the previous chapter of Introduction to Business and e-commerce, so you can see the 8 unique features of e-commerce technology. And one of them, the easy navigation or information richness or globalization, a global standard, are good example and can be used in SWOT analysis, especially for the strengths. And better personalization and customization are good choice. Moreover, the high value market segment and superior social strategy can be your strengths. Regarding to the weakness, the limited financial resources sometimes can be your weakness. However, as I mentioned before, it's different between the small startup business and large corporation. Maybe the limited financial resources is not the weakness for this business or firms, but maybe the weakness for the other. Because the cost of e-commerce web presence as well as information system is not a small value. And the other weakness, especially for the small and startup business, that no prior online experience, no existing user base, no media attention, no website design expert or computer background, may be the weakness. However, again, that's for the small startup business only. And but if you consider the other example, especially for the firms in the IT industry, these are not their weakness, certainly. So here's just example for you, guideline for you to analyze yourself by using SWOT analysis. Regarding the opportunities, that ability to address large market with unmet needs and potential to capture significant share of this market, potential to develop related size opportunities, and the potential to the modern business model, also the opportunities. How about the threats? The approach could be copied by the competitors. Yes, in e-commerce, we should always remember the first mover advantage and the fast follower competitors. So approach could be copied by competitors, maybe the threats. And furthermore, advertiser may not want to try a new site if you want to get the money from the advertising revenue model. So these are the threats. The rapid pace of technological development, low market entry costs also create and generate the threats for yourself. So here's a SWOT analysis. You can use this guideline for your startup and small business. However, when you consider building the e-commerce presence for the large corporation, please think of the bigger picture of the competitors, of the mm, technological literacy, as well as the potential customers. You may find out your SWOT analysis for that case. And here the guidelines for you when develop e-commerce presence. So we didn't use the website only. We develop e-commerce presence. So here can be considered as the e-commerce ecosystem or ecosystem in e-commerce. An e-commerce presence requires firms to consider the four different kinds of presence and the platforms and activities associated with each type of presence. And this is a diagram maps the activity and platform associated with each type of presence. There are four types of presence, and each has a platform and activity. The first types of presence, the the website or application, use a traditional desktop, mobile, and tablet platform. Activities include search, display, affiliates, and sponsorships. The second type of presence, social media, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, and blogs as a platform. Activities include conversation, engagement, sharing, and advice. Regarding the third type of presence, an email use internal list and purchased list as a platform. Activities include newsletters, updates, and sales. And the last one, the fourth type of presence, including the offline media in use print, TV, and radio as a platform. Activities include education, exposure, and branding. So here's the guideline as well as the four types of present that give us the big picture of ecosystem in e-commerce. And so, to develop e-commerce presence, your company should consider the most appropriate platform or types of presence that most suitable for your business. Sometimes you should choose website, webshop, and web blogs to generate and develop the ecosystem in e-commerce. And it's up to you. And it's also based on the product and services you provide and supply, as well as your target market, your target audience, and so on. And when you already have a vision of your web presence and consider the building an e-commerce site, you need a systematic approach. Once you have developed a vision of e-commerce presence you want to build, it's time to start thinking about how to build and implement that presence. Building a successful e-commerce presence requires a keen understanding of business, technology, and social issues, as well as systematic approach. E-commerce is just too important to be left to totally to technologists and programmers. The two most important management challenges are developing a clear understanding of your business objectives and, next, knowing how to choose the right technology to achieve those objectives. The first challenge requires you to build a plan for developing your firm's presence. And the second challenge requires you to understand some of the basic elements of e-commerce infrastructure that the businesses to drive the technology. So, when you consider the basic elements of e-commerce infrastructure, here are the main points that about the management, the hardware, architecture, the software, the design, telecommunications, and human resources. It is stated that in information system within organization, there are three assets you need to manage. The first one, human resources. The second one, technology, include hardware, software, and telecommunication. And the last one, can you guess? That the relationship between the business and technology. That's the most important asset you need to manage in your information system. And your second step in building an e-commerce website will be creating a plan document. In order to tackle a complex problem such as building an e-commerce site, you will have to proceed systematically through a series of steps. There are different methodologies in system development, and here we will introduce one methodology is the systems development life cycle. The System Development Life Cycles (SDLC) is a methodology for understanding the business objectives of an of any system and designing an appropriate solution. And there are five major steps of the SDLC methodology. The first one, system analysis and planning. The second, system design. The third, building the system. The fourth, testing the system to check whether the system works. And the last one, the implementation and operation. Here's a full description of a flow diagram shows the system's development life cycle. Here's the loop follows the following routine. The system analysis and planning, leading to system design, leading to building the system, leading to testing, and finally leading to implementation service delivery. After this step, the process again loops back to system analysis and planning stage to check whether the system meet the requirements as well as the description at the beginning point and whether we can develop and enhance and improve the system to achieve the better result. So, the system development lifecycle theories as well as the other methodology of developing the information system will be discussed in the next topics in e-commerce and in MIS. It's time to stop for this lesson of building e-commerce presence and system development. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.